It is such a pleasure to speak locally, because when you're on the road a lot, how many of you agree that, remember that old advertising phrase, fly the friendly skies? They ain't. And remember that other phrase, Delta is ready when you are? They ain't either. In fact, just to show, I had to go to Florida. It was crazy because I had to leave on a Wednesday and come back on a Thursday, so I was really able to soak up the 45-degree West Palm sunshine that 2 days that I was down there. And I knew right away I was in trouble when I got on the plane. The flight attendant came around and said, "Will you be having breakfast today? Business class." And I said, "Well, what are my choices?" And she said, "Yes or no." I knew right away during those next 3 hours I was not going to raise my hand or press that flight attendant button and ask for a blanket or a pillow. That was probably been recycled by many, many people over and over and over again, but nevertheless. How many of you have a LinkedIn account? How many of you have a Twitter account? How many of you have a Facebook account? How many of you don't care about any of that stuff but would die for this tie? What I want to do today is exceed your expectations. I don't want to meet them. I want to exceed them. Because in this business climate that we're in today, the way people become successful and more successful is by exceeding the expectations of their prospects, clients, and past clients. That's my goal today. I will tell you this, utilizing social media to market your business today, it's not a luxury, it's mandatory. It used to be, well, when I get around to it. Today, you have to do it. Let me change that word. You don't have to do it if you don't want to stay up with the latest market trends, if you don't want to stay in constant contact. I know that's another name of another format, but stay in contact with your clients and your past clients, because the biggest mistake that people in selling make, and I will tell you this, regardless of what your business card says, everybody sells. The biggest mistake people make is being out of contact with their people and allowing someone else in the same category as you to get in and win them. Not necessarily steal them, but win them away from you. This has become mainstream today. In fact, just last week, 2 weeks ago, Worcester Magazine, the cover story in Worcester Magazine, "Be my friend, then vote for me. How social media are changing political campaigns." No, they probably use that as a plural. I would say how social media is changing political campaigns, but nevertheless. If you watch the network television programs, you see during the news, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, follow us on LinkedIn. My friends here from WXLO have a Facebook page, and they promote it on the air saying, join our Facebook page, follow us, make yourself available for special treats, special values, special discounts, free events, and that type of thing. So we're going to get into all that today. I will tell you this, I've got about 3.5 hours worth of merchandise here to show you in a much shorter time window in which to utilize that. So I will speak in 40 to 50 words per minute sentences with gusts up to 80 or 90 in order to get it through. I also will tell you that if any of you want to have this PowerPoint presentation sent to you, I've got a form that Steve will hand out a little bit later that will give you that opportunity to do so. So take as many notes as you want, but all of this will be available to you. And if you have any questions, you probably want to wait till the end, because if my ADD kicks in and you ask a question 20 minutes into it, we're right back to how many of you want this tie? Okay, then we'll have to start all over and never make our time period. Social media for sales marketing professionals, putting you ahead of the pack. Okay, what is this social media thing? If you talk to 10 people, you may get 10 separate answers as to what it is. But basically, the big difference between the way we've been able to communicate is that this is two-way communication, where you can get direct feedback from your audience. Direct feedback. It's a total shift in the way we communicate today. Some of the platforms that we'll talk about. LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, video. In fact, we're videoing this on that little flip video camera that you see on this side of the room. And we can have that on YouTube by the time you get back to your office today. You can even edit out anything that may come up that we don't want to include that, but get it right back up and get it to the world, okay? YouTube, blogs, and performance trackers. Have you ever heard of a site called bit.ly? If you notice the email that Jen sent out on Monday, it said bit.ly/Holden Chamber. We can tell exactly how many people viewed it, when they viewed it, and how they got access to it. Now, I will tell you this, you can't tell who it was. So that's the good part. You know, this tracking stuff is kind of scary. It's good and it's bad, but that's the technological world that we're in. The goal of social media, in anything that you do to promote your business, all you want to do is develop a relationship, gain credibility. What makes you, you? Why should I buy from you? Now, the real estate people in here, you don't own your inventory. So somebody else has access to sell the same thing. Why should I buy from you? What makes you different? Why are you special? This gives you an opportunity to do that. Develop these referrals, and keep in mind the platforms are the means to the end. They're not the end themselves. I've seen real estate people put all their listings up. I don't believe personally that you should be using Facebook for detailed listings. That's personal opinion, but there are people that do that. In the world that we all grew up in, these were the mediums that dominated what we did. TV, it was the big three. Then cable came in 20 years ago, and then DirecTV came in and cannibalized a little bit of cable. Radio, everybody used to wake up. How many of you used to wake up to a clock radio, or still do? Just, I look around and virtually everybody in the room, right? I was on a college campus not too long ago, and I said, how many of you wake up to a clock radio? 0. Guess how they woke up?